Good evening, happy Thursday night, and welcome to the QualkShow. Tonight we are qualking all about the fact that it is, or was this past Saturday, our 1-year anniversary of qualking at you guys. And I want to thank you guys and gals and they and them and everybody in between for tuning into the show, for being a part of our lives, for accepting us into your living rooms, cars, bathrooms, wherever it is that you are listening or watching the Qualk Show. We are going to come at you tonight with the starting crew, the ones who have been here from the beginning. We've got Ms. Hallie Jane in the house.
Hi!
We've got the Unabomber, aka Stephanie.
Oh, parent, I feel like the Unabomber today.
Her kids are super sick. This is definitely a mom show. And we have me representing for the orange and blue and black and blue and everything in between, because the Oilers are in the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. 10 years. And so I am representing tonight to bring some luck as they play the San Jose Sharks this evening.
Oh, that's my team.
Is it?
But, well, by association, my family has season tickets, so yeah.
Okay, because you're an American, so do you really actually know what hockey is?
I do know what hockey is. I know my uncle got a concussion from playing it.
That sounds like a hockey game.
Yep, and that's my California family. I love them, but we're not proximity close to each other.
Yeah.
So, but they're all season ticket holders. They're big into hockey.
I love it. When you talked about the concussion, it brought to mind a meme that I've seen going around that's so true, and it was a couple of basketball players, no offense, Stephanie, who said, oh, I tore my thumbnail off. I'm out for 10 weeks. And then they had a hockey player who literally died on the bench, was revived, and then asked to go back in the game. So, just a little food for thought there between our two sports. Wimps.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like UFC fighting. You're all wimps comparatively.
That's true. Although I have to say, some of the enforcers from the NHL could probably do pretty well in a UFC ring. Not with the takedowns, but
our psychiatric unit.
Yeah, I think they could stand a chance.
No, they need clinical help.
After each game, they definitely do. Hallie, if the viewers that don't know, or the viewers that are watching that don't know, can you tell them how to get a hold of us and how they can chat with us during the show tonight?
So the main thing is you really need to make sure, if you're watching this, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube, because if you are, you would have gotten a notification on your phone right now that just said the Qualk Show was live, because I just got it on my phone because I'm in my car, because life happens. So make sure that you're subscribed. You have to, if the button is not red, you are not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you're not helping us in our business, which is the Qualk Show. We're so close to hitting our 1,000 subscriber goal. We need you.
We definitely need you.
And on every other social media platform, we are the Qualk Show. If you have questions, comments, concerns, allegations, or emotional outbursts, hit us up at the Qualk Show.
Take your allegations elsewhere.
Yeah. Send those to POTUS at whatever, whitehouse.com. But yeah, hit us up at the Qualk Show. We're everywhere at the Qualk Show.
We are everywhere. And, we need to know that you guys give a shit about what we're doing. And the way that you can do that is by hitting subscribe. I know that we've got way more than 1,000 friends on in between all of our friends lists and pages and all that stuff. So that tells me some of you guys are too old to figure it out or you don't give a fuck. And we need you to give a fuck and go over to YouTube and subscribe if you want the Qualk Show to stay around and you want to see us for more seasons and more qualking and more topics, because to me it just gets better every season, the way that we choose topics, the interaction between the cast. So tell us what you think. Is there things that you would like to change? Are there things that we did in the past that you like better? Are there things you'd like us to do differently in the future? We always want to listen to our fans and our followers and adhere to what they want to see. So on that note, ladies, tell me, what has your week been? I'm pretty sure I know that everybody's week has been an absolute shit show. Yes, I've got my potty mouth on tonight. How has your week been, Stephanie?
Why are you going to start with me?
Because
you look
like
the most beautiful.
And before something blows up, I wanted to get you on air.
Well, put it to you this way. I love Alicia Keys, but I'm not going for her look right now on purpose. I've got my my natural hair flowing, no makeup. My week has been very difficult.
Your kids
My
are
children
sick.
have been sick since September on and off every single week. So why would this week be any different now that spring is here?
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, we're not getting a lot of sleep. We're going through a lot of transitional changes, and I work pretty far away from home, so
yeah. But you have a little bit of a vacay coming up, do you not?
I'm going on a momcation with another friend. Her name is Laurie. She was in our season 2 back to school special.
Yeah.
We are going to Utah to the Mob Desert to go glamping.
I love it.
That's in 2 weeks. And last night when my one daughter was throwing up, Adrian was like, "Oh, you think you're going to Salt Lake City?" I was like, "Yeah, this reaffirms it." So good luck with this kid because I'm leaving.
I love it. I love it. Hallie, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
My neck of the woods? I'm pregnant. My life is busy. Honestly, it's kind of, it's busy because it's coming into nice weather season, which usually means that my schedule starts filling up with like barbecues and birthdays and let's go here and let's go do this. But it's slowed down a little bit. I'm not going to complain too much because I don't want to like shake anything too much.
You don't want to shake it. You don't want more things to fall on your plate.
No, I'm good right now.
We're good right now. My week has consisted of settling into our new place. Absolutely love it. We were so grateful to have Nicole's mom and brother and one of his buddies come and swarm our house on, I think it was Tuesday night, and get all of our curtain rods up, get all of our pictures hung. We have such an amazing support system of family around us here, so that was nice. Just watching my daughter become a toddler before my very eyes. Man, that girl's getting an attitude.
I wonder where she gets it from.
Where she gets it from. And feeling bad for my fiance, who's not getting any sleep right now. And I'm not quite sure how to help her other than be like, I'm sorry, which doesn't seem to do a whole lot for her. But other than that, we're really good. She's actually out walking with Taya right now to grab some stuff for dinner, and we're just so grateful that we're kind of urban now. Is that the right word when you're downtown? Is that urban? Or
yes.
Yeah, I think so. We were like not even suburban before, we were like acreage. We were like out on an acreage, basically, it felt like. But a little.
I was there. I can attest.
I know, but like a little subdivision a little acreage in a subdivision. But anyways, so tonight we are celebrating our 1 year of Qualking at You. It was this past Saturday that we came at you live for the very first time. I believe our first show was talking about the election, was it not? And the differences between America and Canada as far as politics was concerned. And that was when we all thought that there was no way Donald Trump could win.
I was the first person to say there's no freaking way.
So
it's so embarrassing.
Yeah,
I was clearly right because this is his stunt double. I'm just saying.
Right?
The real Donald Trump would never be elected.
Yeah. Yeah, you're still right, Steph. Don't let anybody take that from you.
That's right.
That was our first show. We had Heidi on, but she was getting married in was it Hawaii at the time? We started out with Summer and of course Beloved Sin, and yeah, it was such a great, we didn't know what we were doing. We were flying by the seat of our pants and literally barely hanging on because we were so new to everything. So,
how many do you remember when you did your initial casting call when we had that like first meeting all together? Do you remember how many people were on that call, or like how many people was that? I remember there was a lot because that's where Carissa was on there.
Laura,
I mean, we had a lot of people.
Gosh,
there were in the original group when Carol put out the actually I'm looking at it right here. I'm gonna grab this this here first initial casting call notice that Carol put up.
I love it.
So
I love that you keep everything. You're the cute scrapbook mom.
Yeah,
I am. So on February 8th of last year, she wrote, "Hey moms, I'm currently working on a startup project and I'm looking to develop a panel of queer moms from all walks of life to discuss parenthood among other subjects on a weekly live chat program. My background is comedy, so I'm sure you won't be in for I'm sure it won't be for the faint of heart. At times, the print is actually wearing because a year is a really long time.
Yeah.
And plus my political incorrectness meter is usually a little off, so thick skins are required. If you're funny, witty, intellectual, and quick on your feet, get back to me at Carol's Comedy Hour and tell me a bit about yourself and what you would bring to the show. Thank you for your interest in this project." So the very first person to respond is me. And I wrote, "Pick me, coach. I'll inbox you."
And the funny thing about that is that I literally had no freaking clue what I was doing. If it wasn't for Stephanie coming on board with her technical expertise, we would be doing this like, I don't even know how we would have done it, because I literally, these girls know me now, I can barely start up my computer. So,
I mean,
I had a dream.
You just wanted friends. That's all you really cared about.
Yes.
Your daughter was young and you needed a friend.
Totally lacking in the friend department, and I'm so glad that I found you guys. Just keep my besties.
It's cute because of the people that were writing back about it. 9 people were picked. So Carol started this like private Facebook messaging thing, and you just shoved
I didn't even fucking take part in.
You didn't. You were like, "Oh, all these people are interested." It was probably close to 50 people to start, and you jumped in the room and like, "Hey guys, chat amongst yourselves. There's really no agenda. We'll be weeding people out. Let's just. I'm going to be watching."
I pretended like I was like working a system where I was like,
you were like, "Chat amongst yourselves, and I'll watch you guys and see how you get along."
In my defense, my daughter was like a newborn then, and I was barely hanging on. But that is true. I bullshitted my way through it until Steph said, "We need to narrow this down a little bit."
Well, because as an outsider,
a week into it, you go.
As an outsider, I was like, okay, I have to prove myself. I have to show how funny I am. I have to show how organized I am. I have to prove myself.
And the funny thing is I barely even checked in there. I was so busy. You guys could have planned a siege on the White House, and I'd have no idea. No
we
clue.
Were pretty much on our way there.
And every so often I'd tune in and I'd be like, "Wow, what the hell are they talking about?"
I'll tell you exactly what happened. So,
but you guys were fast and furious. It was hard to keep up.
Well, all 50 plus people in this group, were in there, and you hadn't checked back in 4 days, so you just randomly picked people out of the 50, and I'm like, "Okay, you guys are next in." So the people that were most active in the group, namely, I guess me, Carissa, Sin, Hallie, and there was a couple other folks that wound up being on our first week. We get into the group except for Sin. So Sin thought she got cut from this thing, and she was really emotional about it. And you were just like, "Oh yeah, you too."
I'll bring you over too. Well, I certainly didn't mean to cut anybody. I just didn't even know what was going on. Stephanie has always been the wrangler of my my artistic ideas, and for that I'm truly grateful. And of course Hallie came on to complete the trifecta somewhere halfway through the last year, and Hallie has always proven herself to be an amazing asset to us. We couldn't do it without I couldn't do it without you guys, and hopefully you couldn't do it without me.
To do it once. Don't you remember that show? It was terrible.
I do.
Stephanie and I were
you guys were like, "Don't ever let us host again. We don't want to do it." I can't even believe that it's been a year. So we've had the pleasure of meeting so many great people this past year. We've loved and lost many castmates. Not many, a few. We've hosted so many amazing guests, and tonight we celebrate with our most important component, which is you, the fans, the followers. We celebrate with you, the audience. So make sure you're commenting and asking any questions you have of the cast, and anything you've wanted to ask about the show. So I want to talk a little bit this evening about reminiscing about where we were a year ago and where we are today. And we've kind of been doing that already. And how has being involved in the project changed you ladies in any way? Hallie, has being part of the Qualk Show changed anything about you as a person?
Why do I feel like you totally just set me up for that? like maybe the breakup show had a impact on my life?
That Europe.
Way to be a jerk, Carol.
Hey.
Yeah, no. This show has opened my eyes a lot. Sin and her PC-ness helped me learn so much.
Big time. Me too.
So much.
Me too.
And yeah, I mean, the breakup show was huge for me. That was when I realized I was not in the best relationship for me and what I needed for myself. And then Stephanie helped me in New York. Sorry, I was just running up and downstairs letting my dog go potty.
It's okay. Nobody minds you panting and breathing heavy.
But no, I've grown so much. So much.
For sure.
I mean, I think we all have. But I feel like I've grown a little bit more because I'm the little sister.
You're just the wee babe. I have to agree with you on Sin. Shout out to Sin, because I have been beating the pride drum for 22 years. I thought I was the gayest of gay. I had no clue. Like, at least I certainly wasn't a politically correct gay. I learned along with our viewers and other people what cisgendered meant, what
right?
I can't even begin to fathom all the things that I've learned and the different groups of.
Today I had I work for Wells Fargo. It's a very large corporation with a huge pride, diversity, and inclusion. Anyways, I was on a 4-hour diversity and inclusion training today.
Yeah. And
I they're like, oh, hi, your name, who you are, and what is your diversity that you would like to share? And I was like, well, I'm actually on the LGBTQPIA spectrum, if you will. And she's like, what? There's other letters? I was like, boom.
Yeah, exactly.
I opened the leader's head.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. I love that when it happens. And I've opened other queer people's minds as well. And they're like, what the heck does that mean? A lot of us are older school, but we've definitely had a cast of characters come across our screen and grace us with their presence. We've been talking a little bit about Sin. No one will ever forget Sin. And Sin left the show for medical reasons and some other reasons. Heidi, we mentioned at the beginning of the show. Heidi helps and things like that, where we remember her fondly. Summer, the first week, 2 weeks of air, was she on longer than 2 weeks, or was it just 2 weeks? I can't remember. It's a long time ago, but Summer.
I can't remember either. I mean, maybe about a month, actually.
Yeah. Summer brought a super unique perspective to the panel that was missed in her absence. Just a certain area of expertise that she had. Amanda.
You're a shell. I love that about her.
Pardon me?
You're a shell, man. I loved it.
And of course, Amanda from last season. Amanda, who could forget the vaccination show and different shows like that. Amanda was a hoot to have on. And
the live engagement.
Exactly. Was also an interesting character. We've had so many amazing guests on our show as well the past year. I want to hear what your guys is. Give me a couple of your favorite stuff from the past year.
My favorites. I mean, definitely the breakup show, because getting to get to know Candace at a very raw time in her life.
Yeah.
I think is something that is really unique and special about this journey. And we don't edit. We don't overproduce. We don't marketing manage this project. We just do it straight from the hip and straight from the heart. And just having mundane conversations, every week is really fun and cool, because we get to bond with each other and kind of just give a real perspective on being a mom, just having like an unscripted conversation. But when you have those moments with people where they're at their, most needy or at their best, and like you're able to like sort of get a really good idea as as into the journey that of being a queer spectrum person and all the intricacies that go into that, like specifically from the divorce perspective. Like I really appreciated her in that vulnerable state sharing that with us, and her viewers did too. I mean, that was one of our most successful videos because it was just so raw.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't say there's specific shows, but like specific moments. I think that as the project progressed through season 1, we got to see Sin sort of come out of her shell a little bit. And I think that was really cool because to be at the beginning of the project where she's super quick-witted, very funny in the chats, and then as soon as the camera went on, she was very nervous and very quiet, and then, you know, sort of like the voice of reason. And then by the end of the project, she was like, F you all, here's what's up.
Figuratively and literally.
Right, like I feel like really good about being a part of that journey with her. I could have done without some conversations. I think that there was definitely some less than enticing things happening behind the scenes, and you know, bullshit precedes bullshit. You know, when you get a bunch of chicks together, stuff gets heated. That things that took away from the joy aspect of things I could have done without. And then of course the fact that we all started very starry-eyed with, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is a huge hole in the industry and we really need this, and it's going to be big and it's going to be huge. And like, I think collectively as this journey went on, we like the privateness of this. We appreciate that it isn't the big thing that we want it to be. It's sort of ours still, right? And I can't say that's the same for a lot of YouTubers at all. Especially a lot of the lesbian couple YouTubers, because they've got so many followers, the pressures that they talk about all the time about they can't even leave their house half the time because of the areas they live in. Some of these lesbians will go and they'll move to their town so that they get to have interactions with them at coffee shops and stuff. I mean, I don't want that for my children. So,
No.
I mean, I wouldn't say
that.
it's so much shows, but I would say that the journey of everything is ideal. But
For sure.
just really quickly, if I did pick one show, I loved having Marnie Panis on. I felt honored. And
You
guess
took
what?
mine.
He was picked to do a TED Talk, and I'm so pumped because
That's
I'm a big TED nerd.
amazing.
I know. So
It's
she'll be
amazing.
doing that in Edmonton. So
Wonderful.
if you go follow her, follow Marnie Panis on Twitter, you'll see all about it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of mine. What were you going to say, Hallie?
I was gonna say Marnie. I mean, of our guests, Marnie and Candace changed me the most.
Yeah. I would agree. They enlightened me the most as far as, like I said, I thought I was up on queer topics and that kind of stuff for Marnie, and that just shed light on it again, that everything that we as a gay community has fought for, the transgender community is still in the trenches fighting for, and not that the LGBT community is out of, or LGB, I guess, is out of it yet. But with all the laws that your POTUS keeps trying to send down the line. Candace Green was definitely one of mine.
Why are you going to keep saying you're POTUS?
It is what it is, my friend.
Not all of us can have these hot POTUSes.
Haven't you seen the t-shirts? He's not my president, okay?
Yeah, I know. I actually really enjoyed Robert Cottrell as well. I think that there's a huge, Susan Cottrell was recently on, was it Dateline, talking about these get the gay out of you Jesus camps type thing. And I think that there's a huge percentage of LGBTQIA people that struggle with religion and being their authentic selves. So I would actually love to have Robert back on, and I've spoken to him about doing that. So he was down to earth, fun, intelligent, and well versed, and that's you know, to me, what makes a good guest. And of course, I cannot forget my mother-in-law Denise with her astral expertise, because I just love my family. Like, I just love my extended family. And I would be chagrined if I did not give a shout out to Riz, Chanel, Jamie, Chet, Lisa, Amanda, Sophie, Sam, Whitney, Jessica, Brittany, and of course, Diane and Kristen Panis, because I probably have forgotten some, but we have had some amazing interactions and some amazing guests on the show. So you kind of pointed to it a little bit, Stephanie, before when you said, I don't know about shows, but some of my favorite moments.
Mhm.
I'll go over a couple of my favorite moments, and then it'll probably feed you guys a little bit for to come up with your own. But
Okay.
I really loved Go the Fuck to Sleep. I thought that was freaking hilarious. And we worked so hard on that, right? Like, and you spliced it all together, and all the video was like different, and it was a mess, and I just loved it. And I actually loved Heidi on that episode as well. Like, she was like in a lounge smoking a cigarette and doing, it's hilarious. What do you think, Steph?
It was hilarious because you guys in Canada, I guess you have like a different cell phone service. So when you shot on your iPhone, it was like choppy and horrible, and I couldn't I don't know. It was just the way I had to render all the videos and all the different cell phones and all the crap. I'm like, I am not an editor. It took me like
It was a mess,
12
right?
hours, I think, in a day.
A mess.
I don't know. It was crazy.
I liked all of our after shows. I know not a lot of people saw our after shows, but that is some good shit. Especially the Not So Newlywed Game with Diane and Chris and Pontus. That was hilarious. Yes. Stephanie eating cinnamon and watching Stephanie watch Two Girls, One Cup.
Okay, listen. That's still the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I hate
There is so many moments from the after shows. If you guys can,
I hate you both.
If you guys can get a hold of them somewhere, Black Market.
It's been a minute. I still fucking hate you.
Yeah, Truth or Dare. Those after shows were something to talk about. Hallie and Stephanie live from New York City when Hallie visited Stephanie. That was so awesome. Tell me a little bit about when you guys first met each other and just being the first ones of the group to actually meet in person. Were you everything that the other was expecting?
Stephanie was. She lived up to her. She lived up. No, she was exactly who I thought she would be. She's a hustler. She was like, let's do this. Let's pound the pavement. Let's go. Yeah. We got this to do. We got this to do.
That sounds like Steph.
Oh my God. It was walking around in those neighborhoods was some of my most cherished moments of that trip. I mean, granted, the trip was only like 37 hours long. But...
Literally. She flew out on her 30th birthday to go to the LGBT week in New York, which is this May. It'll be another year. And then got on a plane and went home the next day so she can get back and do the show.
Yep.
See, people, see how committed we are? Hit the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Button right now. All of Adria's comments. So like,
oh my God, Adria in the chat was my favorite. Comments.
Adria, I got to give you a shout out because you were there every night commenting and calling Stephanie out and throwing her under the bus. All of the comments and convo on our appearances on Lesbian Pride. That was a lot of fun too because it opened us up to such a huge audience that, that we hadn't had an opportunity to talk in front of before.
That was a very unexpected thing too because we met Riz at LGBT Week and I just thought she was so adorable and I was like, I just want to be your friend. So when I was live streaming in the room, because I was live streaming the content of LGBT Week to our audience, she walked up and she's like, oh my God, do you guys do live? I was like, we're a live queer show. And she's like, get out. She's like, I do some live stuff, but nothing crazy. So part of her journey too was also in exploring like the possibilities of being able to do that, because that's what our entire platform is built on. So it was nice to be able to have somebody within the business to like collaborate on live as it was starting to get bigger. And that was really fun. No, she's a good chick.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was a benefit that she had Lesbian Pride, but I would take Riz anyway because it was just nice to be able to have another queer.
It was fun to be a part of something that was a little audience-wise a little bit bigger than where we were at the time,
Yeah, exactly.
And a different demographic.
Oh, 100%. And Sin did really well on there as well. They loved Sin. I've already mentioned it, but the vaccine show. The reason I like the vaccine show is that there was such...
Because I wasn't on it.
There was such differing opinions. And a lot of times on this show... we found over the course of the year that we kind of are similar in our opinions on a lot of things. And so it was nice to have a little bit of this going on the show that night. I don't know if Adria appreciated it or Amanda, but I certainly enjoyed watching it. That hour went by pretty fast for me. And I got to mention both Amanda and myself getting engaged on the same day was, a cute little highlight.
So cute.
A cute little highlight, obviously, for me. And Amanda taking us through her whole her whole
production
with Elizabeth and sharing that with us and the viewers was really special as well. Is there anything else that you guys can think of that I've missed that really stands out as a cute moment for you?
I will say, I don't know if I've officially told you girls, but your 30th birthday video to me meant so much. Like, I woke up that day so defeated because I was like 3 days single and I was 30 and I was like, what am I doing with my, like,
yeah.
I just woke up and was like, this day fucking sucks. And then I went to Facebook and I saw your video and I was like, they love me.
I love it.
So I want you to know how much I appreciate that. And it meant so much more than I think you guys knew it did.
Well,
I thought about you the whole day and not just the hour it took me to make that.
Yeah. There you
I
go.
appreciate
There you go. No, I mean, you know, that's, you know, talk about moments that stand out, and it definitely has been us forming a friendship across countries, and seeing the things that we're similar in and seeing the things that we're not. Hallie came to visit me. Well, she came with her girlfriend to see a show where I live, and told me that I have an accent and that I say lots of things weird and all this stuff. And it's just so funny to me. And I still have to meet Stephanie in person, but we've definitely formed a family that will stand the test of time. QualkShow or no QualkShow, which there will always be the QualkShow, but you know, it's risen above and beyond that.
I still stand on the fact that I think we should just never meet each other.
Well, we've already met Hallie, though.
No. I mean, you and I. Like, even if we're in the same city, we should probably just not do that.
You're the brains, I'm the brawn, and we'll just never meet.
I mean, it's just, you know, why not?
No, Mom, I want you to be together again. I feel like a child going back and forth between the two houses.
Yeah, that's true. That's what the hell of a commute between our two houses, too. Stephanie, I'm going to give you a chance to pop in. Is there any moments that I missed that really stand out for you?
I mean, I wouldn't say, again, like on the specific show, but it has definitely, this show came to me at a time when we were going through so much.
Yeah.
And I value the relationships in my life, specifically from my friendship and standpoint. And it's a struggle to find good friends when you are a parent, especially when your little ones are so young and they're needy of you. Yeah. And this fit in so perfectly into my life because you guys are always there because you're always not here. And there's no real pressure to have to like get together every other weekend or try to schedule like a play date or anything like that. You guys are always just right there on my phone. And it's the value of the experience trumps the actual show content for me, because being able to have the Qualk show throughout that entire year when my daughter was in CHOP in and out, and like, you know, and trying to get my toddler through the curve of having a new sibling, and like, you know, my wife, you know, and dealing with postpartum types of issues, and like. And
you went through like 18 jobs.
Yeah, I did go through 18 jobs. So I was going through a life affirmation, and I committed to changing that. Just happened to be the year that we had a kid. So that was part of my 5-year plan.
I absolutely love what you're saying right now. And you know, that's a great place to end our anniversary show, because that is what we always wanted this show to be about, is a place for people to come and meet and shoot the shit and talk about crappy things that are going on in their life and talk about amazing things that are going on in their life and feed off each other, just like we do in all of the chat rooms across Facebook. And we thought, you know what, let's put some faces and some feeling behind all of this texting back and forth. And so, you know, that has always been our mandate. That's our mandate going forward. And I think you just summed it up perfectly. So
I have one more thing.
Yes.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
The final shout out of the evening has to 1,000% go to Adrian and Nicole. Without them supporting you two, we wouldn't have this. Like, if they wanted to be total see you next Tuesday,
that's true. That's true.
We wouldn't have this.
And,
so
and there has been moments when Nicole's like, I've had enough of the Qualk show. So you know what?
Adrian might have mentioned that last night to me. I'm just
yeah. Good call. You know, without supportive partners, you know, like Stephanie said, this didn't blow up necessarily in the way that we wanted to or expected it to. And our partners could have easily been like, you know what, this is you're wasting our family time. You're wasting different things on something that basically you and 2 other viewers are getting together on Thursdays and chatting. And they would have been well within their right to do so. And huge shout out to them. And now to Brooke as well, because Brooke's a part of the situation as we go forward as well.
She is.
So once again, thank you to all of our viewers, all of our followers, everybody tuning in tonight. We are going on hiatus after tonight. We will be back. When are we back, Stephanie?
Thank you for this break, everyone. We are coming back on May 6th. We're kicking off season 4 with Mother's Month, because you know we're mothers. We should do that. We should get ourselves
We should definitely.
about a month.
I love that. Coming
yeah,
out back with a bang.
Focus on all the ladies.
Love it, love it. And yeah, check out our after shows. Check out some of the shows we've talked about tonight. Also want to say Sin's Black Glove, hilarious. You got to watch that. You gotta watch that episode, and you're going to have to look for it. Thank you for tuning in tonight, everybody. We will see you on May 6th. And remember, there is always something to quack about. We'll see you in a few weeks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.